Hello there. This story takes place on an anarchy server called Constantiam. It's a story how a base was found with an unknown map. I have asked around and talked to different people on how all this was possible, because the way this base got found still is a mystery to me. After watching this video, give it a comment if you have any ideas on how this map took me into this bizarre journey. Now, this all started while I was at my base and noticed that one of the maps on my wall had changed. This map originally was an unknown map, and to be honest, I don't know how these are created, but it had changed. It was like a treasure map you find in shipwrecks, but it had no markings on it. Then I noticed that I appeared on the northeast corner. I thought that this location was near to my base, so I investigated by going to the opposite direction. I maybe traveled 10,000 blocks without the player mark becoming any bigger, so I gave up the task to Hand. Now, the way maps work in Minecraft is that when a player marker is visible on the map, it shows the location of the player and the direction the player is looking at. If you travel outside the border of the map, the player marker becomes a dot. On a normal map, if you go out too far from the border, the marker disappears. Even though I traveled 10,000 blocks, there was no change. So this map had to have been an exploration map. Exploration maps don't have a limit how far you can travel outside the border. You would still show up on it. Hand started out by going to spawn, and to his surprise the marker still was on the northeast corner. So this location would be on the southwest quadrant side of the map. With this knowledge, went to the nether highways in search of this location. He first started by traveling the western highway, and from time to time he would go to the overworld to check if the marker had moved at all. This was necessary because you can't see the marker if you're in the nether with a map from the overworld. At some point in his travels, he went to the overworld and saw that the marker had switched sides to the west side of the map. He was getting closer to this location. Now, all he had to do was travel south from that point and he would eventually find it. Hand found open portals on the way to the location, and he would find two intact bases on the way. One belonged to Slowman, a nice house built on the side of a cliff. And the other base belonged to Azimuth. I'm not sure if Slowman has played on the server for a while, but I had the chance to talk to Azimuth. I asked a little about his base that was found, and he told me that he had built it around 2021 and 2022 and named it Beta 2. On this day, Hand had crossed to the other side. The marker had switched over to the southern border. He was really close, and it wouldn't take long for him to find the contents of the map. Now this looks like nothing, because it is. There was no player activity in this area. There was an ocean monument at the center and buried treasure at the beach. But still, this map had no markings. Was this just a broken exploration map? Hand didn't stop there. It would have been pointless. Using hacks to see new chunks, he searched the whole area. First flying on the edge of new chunks, and then closing in on the center. Suddenly, he found a chunk of stone missing on a stony shore, and he knew that there was someone this far out mining. And around 2 AM, he found it. The Pumpkin Order's castle. It was unbelievable. An unknown map had unintentionally taken us to another team's base. Next to the castle, there was a little town. They even had our map arts on their walls. An hour later, he would contact one of the players from the board, Paso code, and he would explain the whole thing to him. The two would trade signed books, and Umbra even got some map art from them. Umbra told Paso he wouldn't grieve or leak the base. But eventually the members would leave the base. It might still stand there intact to be found again. Now it has been almost 2 whole months and I finally got around making this video. Sorry for my dog shit mic and my pronunciation and accent, that's because I'm Finnish. Thanks for Azimuth and Paso Code for providing info for this video. And thanks for watching this video. Let me know if you have any ideas on the map that suddenly changed and took us on this bizarre journey. And guys, I still have unknown maps in my collection. I will find you. Don't you worry about that.